Hey friends, welcome to another breadcrumbs video. We're walking through Psalms right now, and today's reading was Psalm chapter 42, Psalm 42 through Psalm 46. And all of these are amazing Psalms to draw from, but I really was drawn to Psalm 44, which is a psalm about being battle weary and God being the defender of the people and the one who wins the victories. But the psalmist is feeling abandoned and alone, and is really crying out to the Lord to rise up for his name's sake and because of his covenantal love to defend his people. And so I love this psalm. I just want to read a couple of verses as we talk about it. God, you've heard it with our own ears. Our ancestors have told us of all you did in the other days and days long ago. You drove out the pagan nations and gave all the land to our ancestors. You crushed their enemies, setting our ancestors free. They did not conquer the land with their swords. It was not their strength that gave them the victory. It was by your mighty power that they succeeded, and it was because you favored them and smiled on them. And so victory belongs to the Lord. I love that the psalm starts out with a simple declaration that it wasn't our strength, it wasn't our ingenuity, it wasn't our weapons, it wasn't our money. You are the one who brings the victory. You, Lord, are the one by your power to bring forth the deliverance. And I love that he says in a few verses later, in verse 6 and 7, I don't trust my bow, and I do not count on my sword to save me. It is you who gives us victory over enemies, and it is you who humbles those who hate us. And so I love that one of the core foundations of our walk with God is humility and dependence. Acknowledge God in all your ways, and he'll make your path straight. We make our plans, but the Lord orders our steps. And Jesus made it really simple. He said, apart from me, you can do nothing. And so here I just love the simple declaration of I'm not putting any of my confidence in my own strength or in my own abilities, in my own assets or what I have been given. None of that matters. I want you, Lord. And this is a cry that Moses said as he was leading out the people of Israel as well. You might remember where he says, Lord, unless you go with us, we're not going. And I think that is such a cry of the heart of David, of Moses, of Joseph, of so many people of God throughout all these scriptures that we've been reading, is this humble dependence on God's power, not our own abilities, not our own strength, and to not lean on our own understanding. And so I really was drawn to this psalm as we were reading it today. And as you continue forward, the psalmist basically talks about how feeling like we're sheep led amongst the wolves and we're being slaughtered. You're letting our enemies take control over us. Circumstances are challenging right now as the person who wrote this psalm is under duress and they're frustrated by the circumstances that they're seeing. They're feeling like their enemies are boasting, gloating, and that they're held in contempt and scorn. He says at one point, we feel like we're the butt of the joke. And so we're surrounded. We're surrounded again, but Lord, we're crying out to you. And so he ends the psalm with a plea. Wake up, O Lord, why do you sleep? Get up, don't reject us forever. Why do you look the other way? Why do you ignore our suffering and oppression? We collapse in the dust, lying face down in the dirt. Rise up, come and help us, save us because of your unfailing love. And, I know that the Lord refines all of our character through challenge and adversity. But this is such an honest cry, and I love how honest the Psalms are. When we feel abandoned, when we feel alone, when we feel surrounded, we cry out to God. And in that place, you can look to so many stories where the Lord allows his people to feel like they're surrounded, whether we're talking about Gideon or the Red Sea and Moses and the people of Israel, a number of kings. In fact, we're going to be reading a story here in probably this week In 2 Chronicles 32, we're reading about Hezekiah right now. Well, he's about to be surrounded. He's about to have Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, surround the whole city, and doom looks imminent. And the Lord allows these moments where it seems like all hope is lost, and this cry comes out of his people. And in fact, Hezekiah makes that cry even in 2 Chronicles 32. And he basically says, they have an army, but it's an army of flesh. We have the God of Israel. God is with us. And that's my thought for the day, the breadcrumb. If God is for us, who can be against us? And greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. And we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And so we may feel depleted. We may feel worn down. We may feel exhausted, weary, broken. We may feel like there's more that are with the enemy because we're surrounded. But the truth is, there's more for us than is against us. Even if it was just you and God, you have the majority in the equation. And so I just pray that that blesses you this morning, no matter what circumstances are in your life, no matter how you're feeling, doesn't change the truth. God is on his throne, and we can cry out to God, and through him, he will come and deliver us, and the battle belongs to the Lord. And it's not by our might, not by our power, but it's by his Spirit. And we don't trust on our bow, we don't trust in our sword, we don't trust in our money, or our abilities, our skills, talents, our reputation, our own understanding. Part of following God is abandoning those things in light of saying, Lord, we need you and you alone, and our hope is in you, and it's in you alone. So God bless you today. Whatever's going on in your life, I pray that these Psalms are encouraging you and uplifting your soul. And we'll look forward to talking with you all again real soon. God bless.